Hey everyone, I'm Nicholas with Say.digital, and in today's video we'll cover HubSpot's built-in lead scoring capabilities. We'll discuss why it's important for your business and how you can customize a lead scoring system that matches your ideal customer profile. All right, let's dive right into this. So first off, why is lead scoring so important? Well, lead scoring is a great way to rank and prioritize your leads based on engagement levels, company criteria such as total revenue or number of employees, and their interest in your business. And it helps you to identify the leads that are most likely to convert into buying customers. And once you understand which of your leads are the ones that are most likely to convert, you can focus your sales and marketing resources on exactly those most promising leads. Now let's see what that looks like in HubSpot. So what we're looking at here is my contacts view, and I've modified it a little bit to show this column here called HubSpot Score. And this is exactly what we'll be talking about today. So in this column, you can see that certain contacts here have a HubSpot score of 350, but when we scroll down, we can see that there are other contacts that have a score of 250 or even 200. So why is that? It's because we've customized the HubSpot score, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So we go to settings and then navigate to properties. And then here we want to search for score. And here we go. Here's the HubSpot score. And then here we simply hit edit. And then what we can see here is basically the creation of the HubSpot score. So you can build a custom score here. And what you can see is basically you have a column for positive and one for negative, meaning that in the positive column, points are added when a record, so in this case a contact and its associated company, meets certain criteria, and in the negative column, the points are removed when they meet certain criteria. So let's look at the positive column for now. So let's remember that example of the contact with 350 points. What we can see here is all the positive criteria that we've set up. So basically you have the first one here that gives 100 points when the annual revenue is greater than $100 million. So these are completely made up criteria, right? Then the number of employees here is greater than 5,000, add another 100 points. And then we've given some of those accounts that we have in our system a target account flag that adds another 150 points. So if we do the math, that's 350 points that we've now given to this account. And that's where that score comes from. And what is to say is that the HubSpot score and this lead scoring system is completely customizable. So when we hit add criteria here to add something new, what you can see is you have a long list of potential properties you can draw from. So it really allows you to assess a lead from many, many different angles. So let's say email subscriptions, list memberships, page views on your websites, certain workflows they're enrolled in, or even ad interactions when they hit your LinkedIn ads or Google ads or whatever accounts you have connected. So for the sake of this video, let's assume we want to add a form interaction. We'll just say any form submission on any of our pages. And because that's a good sign of intent in terms of working with us, we're going to add 250 points if an account meets this. So what you can see here is now if our 350 points lead from the beginning submits a form on any of our pages, 250 points are added to the score, which is really nice, right? Because it shows some more intent and it makes this account more important as a lead. Same goes for the negative criteria. So let's assume someone is very, very engaged, looks at a lot of your websites and pages, maybe even downloads some PDFs, spends a lot of time there, is enrolled in a newsletter, but then with the careers page, which means maybe that particular contact just spent a lot of time with you because that contact is interested in working with you. And that's great, obviously, potentially a new employee, but it's not a potential customer. So you want to remove points from that account. And that's what the negative column is for. So everything that is kind of a flag or like a red flag for you in terms of lead qualification, you can add here in the negative column. What we typically recommend is to make things easier, set up something very, very easy like an Excel or Google Sheet, and then you just put the positive and negative criteria there based on your ideal customer profile, right? So you think about who you really want to have as your ideal customer and what criteria need to be met to make it an ideal customer. And then you just translate that from that spreadsheet to the property here. So that's really the power of HubSpot's lead scoring. There is one thing that you may ask yourself now, like what if I have completely unrelated products or services in my business, or even if you're enterprise scale, you have different business units with completely different customer profiles. So what you can do then is, I'll cancel this here. You can create a new property. It's based on the contact. The score is always the contact and then uses the information of the associated company, for example. And then you want to call it sales properties. You label it. We'll just simply call it new score here. And then the field type, and that's important, is going to be score. And ta-da, we have a new score that you can use for the other business unit or the other service where you want to enroll completely different customer sets. And you can customize a new score here. So HubSpot gives you the ability of not just having to rely on one lead scoring system, but you can set up more depending on your business setup or your product and service setup, which is really nice. All right, now this covers the general setup of a lead scoring system within HubSpot. And in itself, this is a pretty powerful tool because it'll help increase sales and marketing team efficiency. Why is that? Because it's just a great way to measure lead engagement and how well a lead meets your ideal customer profile. Now, you might ask yourself, okay, what else can we do with the HubSpot score? So let's have a quick look at that by navigating back to our contacts. And then we look at the HubSpot score here. And the HubSpot score now is kind of a standalone metric that we're looking at. But what's really interesting is that we can now leverage HubSpot's real superpower, which is in workflows, and combine it with the HubSpot score. So think about this. You have a lead that is very engaged, spends a lot of time looking at your web pages, has registered maybe for a webinar, filled out a couple forms, downloaded some PDFs from your pages. So really high HubSpot score because they also meet your ideal customer profile. You want to have that trigger something. So if the HubSpot score reaches a certain score, you want to trigger certain workflows in the background. Say you could have a high HubSpot score also reflected in the lifecycle stage. So you could use the score to update lifecycle stages. Or if you already know a lead is very engaged and they know a bit about your company because they downloaded the information, you don't want to show them extremely generic content that they've potentially already seen, but you want to use the HubSpot score to trigger smart content in some of your campaigns, right? To make sure they only see what's really required to make them convert from lead into buying customer. We'll cover that in a separate video, but I just wanted to give you that sneak peek to understand the HubSpot score is not just a standalone metric, but it's really powerful once combined with workflows. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful tutorials and tips on how to get the most out of your HubSpot portal. And also, don't miss out on our new exclusive guide with 7 powerful HubSpot hacks that help you optimize performance and increase productivity in your HubSpot portal. The download is free and you can find the link below this video.